Welcome back to the Wellness Tribes podcast, Finding Your Vibe. This is the podcast where we share with you our journey as a new business
and help you to elevate your life by connecting to the highest, most authentic version of yourself. You can now watch the podcast on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, and of course over on our Instagram. This is how you will become part of the tribe.
Welcome back for our Christmas special.
Christmas special, we are back.
Exciting.
So exciting.
We are in our glitters.
We're matching. We love to match.
Glitter era.
Yeah, this is our glitter era. There's a lot of glitters going around. But
we love a bit of glitter though, don't we?
Yeah, these are Primark. We feel Primark copies us a little bit with these crop jumpers.
We do love the cropped ones. They look so nice with the jumpsuits.
Yeah,
especially.
we like with a bodysuit with these on top. It's just our vibe. So we saw these and we're like, Christmas.
Love it.
Get it on.
So yeah, we wanted to talk about self-love today. That is such an important topic for us, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when better time to be in your self-love era than Christmas and at the end of the year.
Yeah, and with Christmas as well, a lot of nights out and stuff, and people are like, you know, you need to feel nice when you're going out and whatever, but you need to be in that good mindset as well. So
you actually do need to be in that good mindset and think, I don't want to go straight into how you look.
Yeah.
That is a little part that we will touch on, but you just need to be like back yourself and work on backing yourself and feeling amazing and let's go.
And what goes into that? So self-love is something we always do on our retreats, don't we? We always do like a little workshop. Sometimes on the events it'll be one or the other, won't it? But self-love is a big one and it's usually quite emotional. I think we spoke about it on
You do like to lead self-love, don't you? Like you've written like a really gorgeous speech in the past for it and it's just perfect and it is important to you, isn't it?
I think it's because I think that with self-love, it's a journey for everyone. We were just speaking before and I thought, you've got to say that I don't wake up in the morning and be like, I love you to myself in the moment, like, I love it. But it's that appreciation for your body. I think, I just think back to when I was younger and I was, say, my thinnest. I had like a six-pack, like visual. Actual. I, one time, was actually in Primark and this little kid went to her mum, was like, Mummy, why's that lady got a six-pack? This is what she had, because you could see it.
Oh.
When I was just stood. And you know, when you sat down, you're not going to really see the six-pack if it's there. So this is how...
You weren't... It's not like you were in the gym, like, working out, and it was, like, all tense.
I was looking at clothes. And
what were you wearing?
Like a belly top.
Oh.
But I was actually very insecure. So people would be like, you wasn't insecure if you were in a belly top. But it wasn't. I was still picking away at my body all the time. And I think I was that thin because I was, and it was more.
But your body wasn't nourished, was it?
No, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't as bad as, you know, there was no eating disorder or anything like that. I was just in this new phase of training when I'd never trained before, a lot, and probably not eating enough. So I looked very, very lean, and it was new to my body. So it was a shock.
And you were
to the body.
young as well.
Young, I was like 17, 18, but I just didn't love myself, and there was always never a right time to be like, oh, I look nice or I feel nice or whatever. And I think I just realised that, you know, I even do cuts now for a holiday, and sometimes that will add pressure because I'm like, oh, am I there yet kind of thing. And it's just that kind of thing where you're being like, no, I'm appreciative of my body, you know, I work out, I eat well, you know, these horrible words we say to ourselves for no reason just has no benefit to your life. So I just don't let myself dwell on it anymore. Obviously, hormonally, everyone has them days where they're just like, oh, I feel awful. I feel like I look terrible. My skin's terrible. But I just try not to be in that zone for too long. So I think, but there's a lot of girls who do, isn't there, on the retreat?
There really is.
And they really struggle with getting themselves out of that. So that's what self-love is. I think the power of getting yourself out of
a rut
and just feeling, just being so mean and nasty to yourself.
I think words is a massive one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, words that you can say to yourself, you would never say to anybody else.
Yes, that's what we say. We've done a few different exercises, but one of the ones we like to do is, I think we said in the last one, when you get to know people, we'd ask you to write 3 nice things about other people and then try and write them about yourself as well.
But the amount of times people have struggled to write them about themselves is just so sad, isn't it? It's so sad.
And so common.
But we do keep in touch with all of our guests, and one in particular has said she's still working on that.
She's still working on that, and it's a lot better.
Oh my God, so much better.
So much better.
So much better.
But that's what I'd say. It's such a journey. It's not like we're expecting you to listen to this podcast and be like, oh, I love every inch of myself.
Everything. Yeah.
And be as cringe as, like, I've seen it before where people say nice things in the mirror, and that is a nice thing to do, don't get me wrong, but I know when I've been in a certain place, the last thing I've wanted to do
is look at yourself in
the mirror, analyse, be stood there with this whatever. I actually, on my down days, and I feel a bit rubbish, I'll wear clothes that make me feel nice. This is how I get out of it. I wear clothes that make me feel nice, so, you know, if I want to wear black that day, I will. And then I don't spend ages in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because it makes it worse when my skin's bad.
Yeah.
And I stand there and look at my skin, I just think, terrible mood. So try to avoid it really on them days.
Your skin is glowing, by the way.
She is some days. She's
absolutely gorgeous.
Yours is though?
No.
We're enjoying our skin at the moment though, aren't we? Trying to look after the skin. It's the thing with getting older.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's more expensive, I'll tell you that.
And you feel like those days of having like spots or bad skin was like so behind. But it's actually not.
Like, I know, mine got so much worse when I was older.
Yeah.
My skin. I think we're not on the pill, are we? So
no,
you get them hormones. But even that's a self-love thing, I think, with my skin. That's probably one thing that does really get to me if it's bad. But then with the hormones, the more you learn about your body and what it's doing, say when you're hormonal and it's bad, you're like, she's dealing with a lot.
She's got a lot on.
She's got going on. She's just showing it in the skin.
Yeah.
And it'll pass.
Yeah.
This feeling will pass. But it's for people, I suppose, who might be listening to this who every day is a bad day and can't get themselves out of it. So we thought for the Christmas we'd do a quiz, a self-love quiz. So I know a lot of you listen in the car, so please don't write down in the car.
Yeah, it's not right in the car. But if you are at home, it's a nice idea to grab a pen.
Piece of paper.
Or, you know, your notes in your phone. A journal.
Might have that one.
Write it all down.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to ask each other the questions. We'll take turns.
Yeah.
And we don't know the answers to the questions. We don't even know what the questions are. We've just pulled them up randomly. So we'll ask ourselves and we'll give our answers. We'll try and be open and honest with everything. And you can write your own answers down. Or if you are driving in the car, just try and think. And if it is something positive about yourself, just try.
You've made me nervous now. You said it's a quiz. I'm like, what?
There's a right answer. No, it's a nice quiz because there's no right answer.
Do you know what is nice about writing it down as well is you can be honest on a piece of paper. You know, not one person is reading it. You could burn it after you've written it.
Yeah.
But it's so therapeutic to write it down.
Yeah.
In full, without anyone looking over your shoulder or the worry of someone reading it.
Yeah.
You can rip it up.
Yeah, well, I've got a good point on this, actually. This is a good time to say this. We, on a retreat once, had a younger girl, and remember I told you, she was journaling and stuff, and, you know, it's just maybe she found it quite cringe writing things down on paper, and she's openly telling me that. And I thought, you know what, I like the honesty, and that's a big step to journal. So we'll say journaling like it's a normal thing, but it can be quite cringy, you know, saying how you feel on paper, like it's a big step. But I just said to her, you know, writing it down will only benefit you in your life, whether it's writing something down that you want to improve or better in your life. There's no judgment.
No.
The piece of paper's for you. So if that's a step when you listen to this and think, I'm not doing that, turn it off. Hopefully you've not turned it off yet. But just give it a go.
Just give it a go.
Open-minded.
Because like I say, you can literally burn the piece of paper.
Yeah, and there might be one thing that you in like a year's time like, wow, I'm glad I wrote that down on a piece of paper.
I mean, keep it by all means.
Yeah, keep it by all means. We keep our sticky notes, don't we?
The sticky notes we do, yeah.
So
it's such a nice exercise.
Yeah, we do an exercise where obviously what I said, where they write things about each other and they write them about us as well. And we write them for all the guests as well. And we've kept ours, and sometimes things people think of you are the things that you need to remember as well. So this might be harder today because you might be doing it for yourself, but maybe do what me and Emma are doing with a friend. Yeah. This Christmas, perfect girls' night exercise. Perfect. You ready to go first then?
Yeah, I am.
She's nervous, I can tell. Okay. Identify a hobby or activity that brings you pure enjoyment and relaxation.
I can't say the tribe, can I?
Does it give you pure relaxation now?
In a weird way, yeah. In a weird way.
Yeah. But say we're,
You know,
say
when
we're speaking self-love though. Saying that it could be. Is that
But
an activity that makes you feel?
in a way.
Yeah.
So, like, when we do an event
Yeah.
and you're halfway through an event and there's like, I suppose it's the same for a class, going to a class.
Yeah.
Or teaching a class. When everybody is doing the same thing and everybody's flowing through the motions, it could be like the yoga or Pilates, and then everybody's in the Shavasana. That's something. There's something about that.
I know, I like that. You know, I didn't know that.
There's something about that.
That's nice. I do.
Or
love
like
that
when
stuff.
everyone is in Shavasana and
Yeah.
that everyone's lying down. And, you know, this is a bit weird, but you might see them like wipe a little tear.
Yeah.
And you think,
Oh, no, it is nice.
which sounds a bit weird because it's like as if I'm like, I want you to cry. Like, I don't
No, it's
want
the
you
emotion.
to cry. But it's that everyone is like feeling the same emotion as you are.
Yeah, and that is
There's
nice
something
thing 'cause
about
it's
that.
like you, especially when Emily does her yoga, she's got such a nice voice and it just works for the Shavasana anyway. It's something, that's why you have your roles.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't, I was going to say in a
You could.
relationship then. But her voice is amazing and it's so relaxing, and I think that's good though, because that's something you can be like, in the self-love kind of thing, that's something you do that makes you feel good and you're actually proud of.
But I feel like it's not me doing it. It's the feeling of everybody in the
Together.
room. Yeah. That's like a hobby.
Yeah, so
And
that
then,
is a
like,
hobby.
Self-love wise, if it's not a hobby, if it's like a treat.
Yeah.
We say it all the time. I don't mean to sound basic, but when you have a bath
That is.
and you
as a
light the
fun-
candles
Yeah.
and there's no one knocking on that door, you've got all the time in the world. There's just something about.
There's nothing like it. I think that's the thing though, isn't it? Self-love, self-care.
But some people
So
hate the
thanks.
bath, and I get it. Like, you know, it's not for everyone, but they might be like, when you get in bed and you put Netflix on and you sit and
You're done for
it's,
the
I
day.
suppose it's the same thing.
Yeah, so in this question, when you're writing this question, think of things, I suppose, in a self-love way, is a hobby that you could choose to do to make you feel better.
So one of them, I suppose, for me, like when I say the class thing, it's like sometimes you need to be around people
Yeah, around
to
people.
like get you out of like maybe feeling a bit in a rut or something, and then the other one's like,
Being
I
around
just
good
need
energy.
like a minute.
Yeah, so they're two opposites actually.
Yeah.
So Emily chooses if she wants to be with people or not. So yeah, write down
What's yours?
on that question.
Yeah,
Wow, because it was your question, I just wasn't thinking
I
into
know,
the
but
question
what
at all.
off the top of your head?
Yeah, I suppose I'm in the position of everyone now writing it. I'd say gives me complete relaxation. Oh, complete relaxation. This is actually hard.
You love
I'd
going for like
say-
a nice walk with Barley and Adam as well, don't you?
Yeah, I'd say. Do you know why it's so hard? Because I don't know if anyone can relate to this. It's sometimes, say the gym, on a good day where I've got full energy and I'm feeling good and I'm ready for it. It does. I know it's not relaxing, but
The
actually,
energy
do you know what?
after.
I would say yes. I'm going to go with the gym. I know it's cliche if it's me. The reason because Adam can vouch for me on this. I think it was 2 days ago. I didn't go to the gym in the morning. I went in the afternoon. But I said I was going to go. And I was so tired and I was sluggish. And I'm not saying you have to go on days where you're not feeling well or anything. I did not feel well. I just couldn't be bothered to go. And I went. And how tired I was before compared to after. It's just unreal, and I felt amazing. I got all my stuff done. Like, you know, say it has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? So that's why I'd say it knocks on for the rest of my day. So got my jammies ready, my room was nice and tidy, cleared all the rubbish that I had not even an energy to get rid of the rubbish. But that gym give me that like reset relaxation to then do the rest
That's
of
nice.
the self-care. So I'd
That's
go with
nice.
that, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely that one. So yeah, that's that one done. You asked me off that list. I feel like I'm gonna get given.
Identify a personal achievement, big or small, that brings you joy.
Brings me joy. I'm trying to think of a specific one because obviously we can sit here and say the tribe because it's definitely the biggest achievement of like my year.
Your relationship.
Yeah, Yeah, I would. To be fair, I'd say, yeah, can you say that?
Yeah, you can.
Achievement.
I do think it's bad to say that a relationship's an achievement. It takes a lot to make it work.
Yeah, I think it's something I'm proud of because
Yeah.
it's like easy.
And it's healthy.
Yeah, and it's sometimes, it's hard because, I don't know, maybe this is a weird thing, but sometimes I'll find it hard to be like, you don't want to brag about your relationship, but it's not even braggable.
I don't think it's braggable. I think it's nice to speak about a healthy,
Yeah. So yeah,
loving
I suppose
relationship.
I'm proud of my relationship because it's very relaxed, very chill, quite supportive, like no pressure and quite positive. So I think a lot of the things we've done or are going to do is because I'll say, I'm going to do this. And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, definitely. Or if I say, I'm worried about this. I'm stressed about this.
Yeah.
He will literally fully break it down. He'll go, can you change it? No. Why is it not going to work?
Yeah. Is it as bad as you think?
Is it as bad? I'd say that. It's that attitude.
Yeah.
He's very laid back, so anyone who's with someone who's laid back, I'm not very laid back, so he's very laid back, very chill. So he'll be like, you know, it's fine. Just breathe. And sometimes we'll actually, so when you say at the bath, say if I'm having one of them days, this is quite cute, it will like run me a bath, put the towel on top of the toilet.
Yeah.
With my pyjamas on top.
Oh, that is nice.
And put the candle on in the bath.
That is nice.
So when it's a stressful day, he takes my stress off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas, rather than add to it, so I think it's good when you're in a relationship if someone can read like where your boundaries are.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's like, on a good day, I love to do the house clean, cook dinner. But if it's a day I'm not getting home till 8, I think it's being with someone who's like, okay, she's had a busy day.
Yeah.
You know, I've got home earlier than you.
Let's
so I'm
make
gonna
her
put the tea
evening
on.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
So
nice.
yeah, it's funny that you say that. Actually, I am quite proud of it. So yeah, it's different than the tribe. But yeah, any relationships that you're proud of. But we've got a really good relationship with our mums as well, haven't we? So I think
Family,
that's
yeah.
family. I've got a really good relationship with my family. So something that I'm proud of, and something that like, even though I've got it, I do still wish for it like every chance I can. Is like that your family are okay.
Yeah.
And that your relationships are okay.
Yeah.
And that's all. Because it's all right dreaming big, but it's like loving what you've got.
Yeah.
So again, self-love.
I think it's important to appreciate what you've got as well.
Yeah, what you've got, and then yeah, but like I suppose it's good for you saying it, because I shouldn't be like, oh, I'm not gonna say it.
You should.
That should be a self-love thing. So girlies, I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, anything you're grateful for? What was the actual question? I'm just thinking so people can bring it back to it. What was the full question?
Let me leave. That one.
Oh, a personal achievement. Okay. So yeah,
Engagement.
if you've listened to mine, then mine is my relationship, my engagement. So think of an achievement that you're proud of and that you're grateful for, and put it down on paper. I want to hear everyone's answers
I
now.
know, I do.
I'm really
Can you
intrigued.
send us a message
Yeah,
or leave
can
us
you
a comment?
in the description box, please? If you're on YouTube. It's your go.
It's my go.
Okay, this is a nice one. Think of a compliment you've received recently and accept it with gratitude.
I don't know.
You've definitely had compliments lately. Think of on a retreat then.
On
Okay,
a
on a
retreat.
retreat, what do you get on your cards?
So they're always the same, and yours
Yeah,
are always the
I
same.
know, that's why I'm
which
saying it
is
to you.
so weird, isn't it?
So it's a vibe you give to people.
Yeah.
So go on, what's yours?
Kind, like
That's
welcoming.
nice.
What's on my cards normally? Ambitious.
Ambitious. That's nice.
Yeah, it is a nice one, that one actually.
I think you get like a relaxing energy.
Yeah. A
Which
lot
I
about
think I
that.
get from
Like
you.
calming.
Calming energy. Which is a big thing, you know. Like being able to, but I think that's you like really in sync with the yoga, isn't it? Because if you can't relax a room,
Yeah.
you can't teach yoga, can you really?
Need to relax the room. Yeah, they're nice ones.
Yeah, so they need to stick in your head a bit
Yeah,
more.
they do.
Kindness is like the main. I'm trying to think, on mine, I do get a lot of. Do you know what I get all the time?
Go on.
Always get like the inspiring motivation.
Yeah.
Always my cards.
Yeah.
And I mean, so nice.
That is really
So
nice.
it is so nice. And to be honest, it's something in terms of the self-love thing. I do try to be as that as I can. You know what I mean? I do
I think
that's a
that
trait.
just comes with the job, doesn't it?
Yeah. Gotta inspire.
Yeah, that's what we're
Motivate.
there to do, help.
Yeah, but I think it's people can see the positivity in the things that we've done.
Yeah.
I think you can do it as well.
Yeah, but they can now.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah. Does anyone else give you any compliments? What about the mums in ballet? Surely they throw a little compliment in sometimes. Sometimes.
I don't know, I've had a weird week anyway, so I feel like
You're like, don't ask
I
me
feel like
about this week.
everyone's like, you've got so much going for you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's all
Yeah,
like
but they're the
down
things
there.
you need to say.
Yeah. But you know what's weird? This is a bit weird.
Go on.
I feel like I'm in a place where I am taking them.
That's nice.
It's hard to like, it's hard when a stranger says to you like, oh, you're gorgeous, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, like, you know, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
how do you respond to that? But when everyone's like, you know, you've got your whole life ahead, you've got this, 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 you think, I know.
Yeah.
It's weird when it gets to a point where you think, I actually know.
Well, saying that, didn't someone say about like your jobs that you do? And then you actually said to me, and you were like, yeah, this was my life.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like,
What did
I
they
feel
say?
I feel like, so I'm 29 and a lot of my friends and like girls that I see like at events and stuff, they'll be like, your jobs, your life looks amazing. And I think, yeah, but girls, you're all married with kids.
So it's like the two things, isn't
You know,
it?
they've got like a bit that I want.
Yeah.
I would like that bit.
And you've got what they want.
And then I must have the bit that they want.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because like when you weigh it up, it's like,
What would you say then is the age where it like changes? I'm 25, by the way. And you're 29.
29. So I feel like if you listen to Kagi's podcast,
Yeah.
Saturn Return, I'm in that now.
You're in your Saturn return.
And mine's lasted, you can Google your Saturn Return, it's really interesting actually. Mine is...
What
was
is the Saturn
from-
return?
So it's when Saturn comes back round to where it was when you were born, and it happens like... It comes back round like a few times in your life, but one of them is like in your late 20s.
Yeah.
And it lasts for like different amount of time,
It
depending
could
on
be
when
quite
you
a
were
long
born.
time, can't it?
So
as well?
mine's been nearly a year.
So apparently I've heard as well it makes
Your life
head-
upside down.
Yeah. One of my other friends, she was just in this place where her head was like gone about everything, every decision. She just didn't know what decision to make. Do you know what I mean? And then you'd said it to me actually, and I said, Google if you're in your Saturn return. She Googled it and she was right in the depths.
Right in it.
Right in
And
the
I
depths.
feel like mine's become more... I don't want to say it's become more turbulent towards the end of it, but because it has, but I feel confident in it.
Yeah, and it's bringing clarity.
So I don't know how to explain it in a way that like it has gone upside down, but I'm like, I know why.
I know
It
why,
was
and
meant
it
to
makes
happen,
sense.
which is a weird thing. I don't know if it's from all the work that we've done with the tribe, and we're seeing women all the time, and they're telling us stories, and we think, oh God. And then when you see it happen to yourself, you think, well, I know it's all going to work out because
Yeah.
everybody I've met along the way, it's worked out for.
Yeah, I would say that is one thing we're so lucky for, you know. I honestly am so grateful for it because you get to meet so many different women who've been through so many things, and then you see meet other women who've been through the same thing as them. And I just think it is a little bit lost. So say if you weren't doing these retreats now, and what you were saying that your other friends are like having babies and stuff, you wouldn't have seen that. So then that pressure would have actually got even more. So think of all the people listening to this
Yeah.
who don't have that
Yeah.
thing that we've got, where it's like you've got, obviously people who are doing it would say it to you anyway, but you know, as women we are a little bit like, don't say how we feel about stuff like that, and then just let it get to us and pile on top of us, don't we? But the people we meet are like, I was the exact same, but now
Yeah.
my life couldn't be better.
Yeah.
So we've got that thing where we're like,
And I do think you've got to keep the hope, like that, like it's all coming.
yeah,
It's all coming for you.
mm,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's mad. It's a mad time of life. It really,
really
is
is.
wild. It's
From
wild.
everyone, like mine and Lincoln's friends, though, a lot of them are the same age as you and
Yeah.
say the same. So it'd be interesting to know how many people say.
And don't get me wrong, when I'm saying like life often goes like upside down, it can, but it can also be like affirmed that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
So you might get married in that time and be like, I'm just so much more sure of myself. And
Yeah.
you know, this, and this, but like, it can go the other way.
Can. There can be so many things. But there is a thing on that, actually. You've heard of the 7-year itch, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
We definitely had the 7-year itch.
When's your 7?
Well, we're 8 now. So, like, last year, and then we got engaged
Oh.
after that. But I'd
I
say
think
there
it's
was-
good to keep things going and not keep it stagnant. Like,
Yeah.
if it stays in that.
Yeah, well, we had a conversation where, you know, we sat there and we're like, I'm quite straight anyway, aren't I, really? I don't like to, like, just pretend everything's, like, fine. But obviously, I sometimes do go from, I was going to say, one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, and blow it into something bigger when it's not. But I just said, like, you know, we were having lovely times, walking the dog, whatever, but we weren't going on dates or changing it up at all. And we'd been together 7 years. We'd lived together. We were just doing the same thing every weekend. We'd never go on a date night in the week or anything like that. So it was just like, we'd go to work, he'd go to work, then we'd chill, and then we'd end up on our phones and all that. And it was just like,
It needed to change.
I was like, oh, I can't do this, you know? Like, and it wasn't like us, but then we both said it, and then he agreed with me. And we were just like,
well, what should we do?
then we were both like, all right, we can change this. And we
Yeah.
actually did decide to, like, just completely change it, go on date nights in the week,
Yeah.
whatever. And then obviously got engaged after that, but you think, you know, it could have went either way in that situation, and that's a 7-year itch. So is that something in the world? I don't know.
I think there is something in that.
There must be something, and I've spoken to other couples and they've said it's been the same. I don't know, it must just be the length of time you're together.
But or you become like a little bit complacent where you're like, you almost take people for granted, and it's like, no,
Yeah, and there was nothing wrong in it. Like, there was still nothing,
nothing
in it, but it was
nasty.
just not,
just a bit.
could have been better.
Yeah,
So I think
and it's nice to keep working on things so they stay.
it is.
Hi,
Whose guy was it?
let me ask you one.
Okay.
Reflect on a challenging situation you overcame, acknowledging your strength.
I've had a few, to be honest, this year. I've probably had my best year, but I'd say there's been loads, to be honest, but my ability to relax. So, say in situations where I'd want everything to be perfect, always worked really hard, you know, you put so much effort into a project for it to be perfect, and then something was actually wrong in the end. So I think I'd done like this campaign thing, a marketing campaign, and then one of the products in it was wrong, and it was the wrong product, but it was too late. And I just lost my head. This like a full year ago, and I was sobbing, and I was dead defensive, like, but everything else is perfect.
Yeah,
So why are you seeing the wrong in it?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And that kind of attitude, and then panicking if something was going to be wrong. But then over time, I'm more resilient. So it's like, that's wrong, but we'll do this instead, rather than be like. And so I think I've completely changed, being able to like
that's really
relax and like take a minute before I react. So instead of being so reactive and so defensive and so,
good. Yeah.
well, it's not my fault.
I think sometimes you can be put on the spot with things as well. If something has gone wrong or someone's
Yeah.
got something to say, there's not a bad thing in saying like, I just need a minute to
think.
have a look at how that's happened,
Yes.
and then I'll send you an email or I'll ring you back,
Yeah.
and we'll get it sorted.
Yeah.
And rather than being like straight away expected to have an answer,
Yeah, or self-sabotage. I'd be like, why have you done that wrong? Like,
yeah,
you're so
and blaming
stupid.
other people,
Yeah,
or
or thinking, why have they not given me this, whatever, and you just give off this vibe where it's like, and then now I look at it and think, kind of, it was only a year ago, but like it's immature now. I wouldn't manage a situation
yeah,
like that now, and I think you wouldn't even realise you're doing it. So I thought that's why I'd say that one, because I think
yeah,
when you're in it, you don't know.
no, you
So you
don't.
could probably relate to it if you've got something stressful in work, and then, you know, it's not went how you wanted to, but then from then, how much better everything else has been, because I let myself go wrong,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
and just react wrong.
Well, we know as well, don't we, with the tribe, that sometimes things like that happen, but it's for a reason.
Yeah, it's for a reason. In early days, we had things and they weren't how we wanted them, but, you know, you're sympathetic, you are patient, you're more patient with yourself, thinking,
Yeah.
and we've got each other, so it's better. So I think if you were doing some of them things we've had to do on our own,
Be hard.
but I think that does come down to like the self-love thing, because I think when I was definitely struggle, I've always had this thing where everything's my fault, and I think that's where my perfectionism comes from. So it's like, I need to be perfect, otherwise everyone's going to think it's my fault. So then instinct, when it goes wrong, my fault. Why have you done it like that? So I think now I'm a lot kinder to myself and think, you know what, it is what it is, but what can we do about it to make it better?
Yeah.
So I think, that's something.
That's a good one.
This year's been good for that.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Isn't it random what comes into your head and you just like wouldn't think? Okay, so I'm going to word this in a way. So if you're at home, list 3 positive affirmations you can say to yourself daily. So an affirmation is something, a statement that you are or can be that day. So obviously self-love kind of vibes. What would you?
I would say I am trustworthy.
Yes.
To myself.
Yeah.
You know, I will back myself.
Yeah, you do back yourself. She's got this.
And I feel like, going back to the Saturn return thing, I feel like in the year that I've been 29, I feel like I like trust my own like thoughts.
And your gut. What about the gut?
Yeah, there is a lot about that, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is a lot about gut feelings.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about that, to be honest. Maybe we'll delve deeper into it, because we often do things. It's hard when you run a business to be like, go with your gut. And we tend to, but then sometimes like, you know, is it the gut or am I panicking? You know what I mean? Is it the gut or is it panic? I don't know. So I'd love to know.
Yes.
We need to find out about
You
this.
give me an affirmation.
My favourite one. I choose happiness. I just think it's a good one to come back to. So
I do.
Like, today, I'm going to choose to be happy.
Yeah.
If something negatively affects me, I'm going to let it affect me. And then I'm going to choose happiness again. And I just think it's quite deep. But I think that comes from days of like really, really sadness when I was younger. And it was just like, when you say, I choose happiness, it's like,
that's nice.
It saves you a bit.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you can choose it. It's a choice.
Yeah. And I am worthy.
I like that one. That's one of my faves.
I think it's hard in situations, whether it be a relationship or it be work or it be family, which is a sad one to think of, but where you're never asking for too much.
Yeah.
Like my friend who I'm thinking of is in like a situation at the minute, and she's being made to think that she's asking for too much. Yeah. And she's not.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one.
She's not asking for much at all.
Yeah.
Like, but it's mad to me, but she can't see it yet.
Yeah, I feel like I think I saw something today and it said, you should never be made to feel that you're asking someone for the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that you feel bad.
Yeah.
For what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Because it's usually the bare minimum.
And that could be relationships, or it could be like you want your family to be there for your birthday or to be at your graduation or to, you know, and maybe they're like, no. And you think, I deserve someone to be there.
Yeah. Like,
to celebrate with me. Yeah. And to have that, you know, that's such a little thing, but there's more to it, isn't there? And I think, I think, you're not asking for too much. If you need back what you put in.
Yeah, and in terms of like you are worthy, I think you need to be kind to yourself in the way that you are worthy of doing like the good things with your day, even as simply as starting your day. I think I am worthy so good for the day, because I think if you don't think you're worth the situations you're trying to get to, you're never going to be in the situations, are you? Because
if you think you're not worth living in that big house that you've always dreamt of living in, you're never going to be.
You're not going to get. That's why we do self-love with manifestation, because if you listen to our last podcast, which is about manifestation, it's hard to talk about like one without the other, really, because I think even these questions are quite manifesting, aren't they? Yeah. So I think if you strip it back to like the self-love things, a big one is in the speech that I do is about comparison, isn't it? And I think that's just a big one now in the world we're living in. So I think if you're listening to this, maybe cut down your social media time in terms of like scrolling or what you're looking for. If it's for business, it's different, but we do get to look at it for work, don't we? But I think I don't ever look at things like that, you know, on Instagram, so I feel dead lucky in that way. But like another girl on there looking at like something would never make, wouldn't make me feel shit, because I just think, what's that saying? You wouldn't compare a son to
I know what you mean.
a son to an apple.
Yeah.
It was not an apple, because an
It's
apple's
not an apple.
ice,
That's
you know?
not the saying, but I know what you mean.
A sunset to a, oh, I don't know.
A rainbow.
A rainbow. Because they're both equally beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But they're so different.
So different.
And I think in the self-love times, it's said all the time, but social media's such a bad thing for it, isn't it?
Yeah. If you're using it for that, yeah. If you're using it to compare, then definitely cut your hours down if you can, and what you're looking at. If you look at things and they make you feel bad, it should be for inspiration, really. It's such a good place for inspiration, even like, you know, if you're getting your hair done. But they do say if you're getting your hair done and you show a pic of a girl with hair, it's usually that you don't want the hair, you want to look like the girl with the hair.
Yeah.
Which is usually the case, but I think it should just be inspiration.
Yeah, I think it's hard because sometimes it can seem like people have got it all.
Yeah.
They've got it all. And then you slowly see the pictures get deleted.
Yeah, and you think,
oh, she didn't have it all.
Like, it's
not
fine.
at all at all.
Yeah,
And you think, I wish she did.
Yeah.
But might have made you feel bad that you didn't have everything that she was able to post.
No.
When really it wasn't as good as it looked.
No, and like you can't be using Instagram to make yourself feel shit if you don't have the full story.
No.
You know, like you can't punish yourself if you don't even have the full story. You don't even know it's real anymore.
Yeah.
It's all like everyone's edited anyway. So definitely, please just do not compare on that. That needs to be a promise on that paper. I am cutting down my hours on social media. What would you recommend to someone as a like self-love practice that you could do with your day?
I would say write down the affirmations.
Yeah.
I think that's a massive one, you know. Journaling in the morning.
Journaling in the morning. Or 3 things that like you can relate to. We might have said things that people are in a similar situation to without realising, because when you say it, we are dead honest. So you probably listen to this and think, wow, they're talking very specific, but we're not really bothered, are we? We'll just like...
Or to make a promise to yourself that maybe you'll say, I will not go on my phone. If you don't need to, if you don't use it for work, I will not go on my phone or social media until midday.
Yeah.
And then you the next week it might be like, I will not go on that until 4 p.m.
Yeah. And
you just keep pushing it back and back, because you don't actually need to be on there. You're not missing anything. You can go on there in the evening and have your catch up, but why would the last thing you see be Instagram? You go to bed and the first thing you do when you wake up is have a look, because you've not missed anything.
No.
You've been asleep, but no one
says everyone else. No one's a retreat, don't we?
No one's done anything.
No.
Everyone's okay.
Or someone's posted something.
If there was
last
something
week.
wrong, you'd have a message.
Yeah.
And you can, of course, message whoever you need to. But social media, like, you just don't need to be on there.
Yeah, and I think it pulls you away from like your connection to like yourself or the people around you as well. Like I do have quite strong boundaries.
But I think that's the bit that I'm saying about the boundaries. Like, make a promise to yourself to say, I will not do it, and stick to it, because there is something about sticking to it that makes you think, oh, I can actually
feel
do that.
better.
I can do
Sometimes
that.
I get a bit jealous of people who can, delete it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm for social media. I am, because it's changed my life. Like the stuff, you sell anything on there. You know what I mean? You can grow your business so much. I wouldn't have ever had a business without it, so I never would delete it. But like, say people who just have it for personal and can just delete it.
Mm.
You don't need to post, do anything. I think lovely that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
If you have a little break, if you can fully have a break.
If you can have a break, why not?
Try it and let us know what it's like.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So with the self-love, we just wanted to come on, and hopefully today you can get something that you can like love yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're not coming at you with being like, you need to go, I love this about my body, but you should be able to be appreciative of your body. So, especially with the gym and exercise and the Pilates and stuff like that, we say move your body because you can.
And think of how healthy your body is if you can go to the gym. Like how lucky are you that
Yes.
that you can get in a pool and kick your legs and swim.
Apparently it's like an amazing thing, you know, if you, maybe if you probably heard that before, but maybe if you haven't, for some reason, always when I'm running, because I'm not a runner, I'm actually really bad at running, but I do like the feeling after the runner's high. Whenever I run, halfway through that 5k, I think I can run because I need that then.
Yeah.
But when you break that down, it's actually such a big thing.
Yeah.
And you think if you're in a negative loop, a negative cycle, and you're not exercising and anything like that, you need to go back to them basics of like moving your body, eating well, because that all fuels that. And it's not for the aesthetics, it's for like, it'll have a knock-on effect to the aesthetics basically. You eat well, you move your body, you're gonna feel unreal.
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to celebrate Christmas, isn't it?
It is a nice way. Nice way to round up the year, I think.
Round of the year, we've had our Christmas event, haven't we? Another big event, and we're going to try and do one very, very soon. We've got a lot of retreat planning to do.
We have got a lot of retreat planning. So if you've got an idea for an abroad retreat,
please let us know. We like
Let
to
us
know where
know.
people want to go. We are thinking, we're torn between Ibiza and Mykonos, so we're going to drop that in there. October time, I think, aren't we? And we do
Maybe
want to go
late
to these gorgeous,
September.
maybe late September, wherever we can get to these places, because there's a lot of things people don't know to run these events. But we're torn between the two, so please vote with one of them. I would like Mykonos.
we would like to go to Mykonos, and maybe that's something that we are manifesting
Yeah,
for
we'll add that on
2024.
For 2024.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining
Thank you
us.
so
We hope you all
much.
have a gorgeous Christmas.
Yeah, have a gorgeous Christmas.
And you can love yourself a little bit more this Christmas.
Yes.
And we'll see you in the new year.